I recorded a video 2 days ago, 3 days ago. It was titled Duet Night Abyss Changed My Mind. And that video was talking about gacha monetization and how it made me realize that it's more tailored towards a genre and just not a monetization style. We just got Ananta announcing that they are pretty much not having acquisition of characters via gacha. So off rip, that sounds amazing, right? I think a lot of people, including myself, we're all kind of tired of the conversations. This is predatory, that's predatory, this banner placement is bad. Well, let's say, for example, they drop a sub DPS first. Oh, well, you skip that sub DPS because they don't synergize with anyone. Well, now a DPS comes out and you want to get the DPS, but the one to make it work optimally or the best one, you got to get both the sub DPS and the new DPS now. Like, there's so many different conversations around just how they monetize characters and just how the gameplay is affected, whether it's stories, whether it's how they tell the narratives themselves, the shilling of buffs and whatnot. So when I see Duet Night Abyss and I see Ananta really try to shake up this system, it makes me happy. It really does. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is something where this could be big and it could be a flop at the same time. Now, we have very limited information about Ananta at the moment. If you want to go into my whole thought process about DNA, you can go watch that video. I won't speak too much on it to be too repetitive, but they've took all 4-star units and weapons, raised it a 5-star quality, which is amazing, and that most likely is going to positively benefit the game, as because like you can just get a character at any point in time, right? With Ananta, we'll go over some gameplay and kind of break things down a little bit in a moment. It's really does seem like a anime GTA, a little bit tailored more towards the comedic side, which I think is good. But when I look at this gameplay, I don't personally see the normal type of gacha systems, if that makes sense, right? When you play Genshin Impact, you have your catalyst user, you then have a sword user, a bow user, whatever the case may be. Withering Waves has their broad blade, a pistol user, whatever that is. In Ananta, there's a plethora of different weapons, a plethora of different modes of transportation. I mean, here, we'll just pull up some gameplay real quick. I had it already playing in the background. You're fighting with your fist. You start off randomly and you're just out here scrapping up 1v1 style, Sifu type Batman Arkham Asylum gameplay. So you have this. You're also then fighting with weapons. I mean, they show you, like, I mean, right here, you have like a symbiote on your arm, and you're kind of like, whoosh, you Spider-Man over there, go in, bam. You're going back to hand combat here. You're using your symbiote as an assist, but then they also kind of like you have a tennis racket. You could block with your tennis racket. There's like a move set for the tennis racket, and then I think there's going to be a hammer that comes out and a couple other different items. They have guns, right? It just seems very different from the status quo of the gacha. And that is what I like, right? You have a grenade launcher. At some point, they show a weapon wheel, and there is like, I don't know if it's a durability meter. Oh, look, it's right here. If I could pause it fast enough, you have this weapon wheel. We don't know if these weapons are going to be gacha necessarily, right? We don't necessarily know if it's going to be super bad and like, okay, well, if you want to use a flamethrower, you got to spend $200 for this. But when I see this, obviously it seems like the fist and your symbiote suit are like, I guess, unlimited durability, and then you have this stuff, whether it's ammo, durability, strength, whatever the case may be. It just seems to be more grounded in I guess in just like a normal gameplay, right? Like in GTA, you get like a scroll wheel of a million guns, bazookas, all these other things. And it's like, I don't think they're going to have a golf club as a gotcha item. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm way off base here. And it is okay to be skeptical about this game and certain things, but based off of the gameplay I'm seeing and certain way the characters function, like this doesn't really feel like it is a It's following the norms of Gacha. It feels like it's trying to break down that barrier, not only for mainstream appeal, because this is going to cater to people who play Spider-Man, who play GTA, who play Batman, all these different types of things. Here's a perfect scene right here. I'm going to swap over my face real quick. You're going to actually see in a moment, you swap between characters mid-mission, right? So where is it? It's right here. So you're playing as this character right here. You're about to get bodied. You swap over to the homegirl, and she snipes people out. Now, maybe you could say that this is just like a story mission, right? And like the actual open world content isn't going to be like that. That's 1,000% a possibility, 1,000,000%. But the helicopters, the cars, you have the Spider-Man swinging. It just seems super, super different. And if these are just the cosmetics, right? These are the cosmetics. This is how they would do monetization. Even if this stuff was expensive, who would it? It feels to me with DNA and the changes DNA have made, along with the changes, well, not changes, I mean the confirmation of Ananta and how I'm seeing this gameplay unfold and these trailers, it feels like they're trying to be more video games first. Obviously, they're going to care about monetization, but it doesn't feel like you're pigeonholed to certain restrictions or requirements anymore, at least with character acquisition, especially in Ananta. But this gameplay, it just looks very vast. Like they also have like mini slap box, like slap fight, whatever that is, the Dana White thing. Think like I look at this and I'm like, this does not look like a gotcha game. If this was sold to me for $60, I would play it. Duet Night Abyss is another game where I think that it's a little all over the place. I don't know how well it's going to do, but at least like getting rid of the gotcha and allowing you to be able to just play the game and grind and not have to worry about all these different type of resin costs. Not that resin doesn't exist in the game, but it seems to be much more lenient. They're really trying to break that mold of you have to spend tons and tons and tons of money to, you know, play the game in a certain way. And this shit just looks fire to me, bro. It just does. I really am excited. Again, so many things are up in the air, but a game like this and the way that they're at least presenting it, we'll have to see what happens this weekend when they show more at the official demo. That's me, by the way. Um, if they show things and I'm wrong, I mean, I'm wrong. It is what it is. But I just have a really good feeling about this. And if DNA in this game are successful, we could possibly see maybe the gotcha mold change a little bit. Because again, I'm tired of the same old conversation. I am. I'm tired of the predatory practices, the all the nonsense. Like, oh, it's a gotcha game, so the story is not going to be. It's going to be, not really overarching and transfer over to multiple different places. Like, I think a game that is a solid game that provides good content and monetization through cosmetics, I think that's fine. You know? Now the downside to this though is most likely, depending how the monetization works, they probably will not make a similar amount of money if it was a gacha game and you had to roll for each individual character, especially as a 50-50 system. But again, Genshin Impact created a new brand of gacha games and it popularized it, but also popularized that 50-50, 75-25 system that is horrendous. The reason why DNA and Ananta strike out to me as something awesome is, look, I love Wuwa. I still love Genshin and whatnot. But spending hundreds of dollars a month to play with a character and the content loop doesn't really kind of fulfill me in that way and still kind of has those gotcha game restrictions to it. The formula is it's getting a little stinky. It's getting a little old, right? Even give props to NTE in some ways, although I think NTE is cooked now. With a nod, I mean, with NTE, it's 70 pity, I believe. I believe it's 70-ish. Maybe I'm wrong, but no 50-50, no weapon banner. Like, there was some positive things there too. So seeing these games, and obviously Wuwa had the weapon banner that was guaranteed. I'm a big fan of just no weapon and character banner personally, but we'll see what happens. Again, I'm very skeptical, but so far, when I look at this game, this does not scream out to me gotcha game. When you look at DNA and the announcements that they've made, it doesn't really stream out Gacha game. It just screams out, okay, it's a video game, and they're just going to monetize through Gunner skins, right? Again, who's pulling for a tennis racket? I don't know how the Gacha will work, or if there'll be any Gacha at all. So there probably will be, but those are my honest thoughts at the moment. We'll probably make another video kind of going over more info when Ananta is on the floor and breaking down gameplay and whatnot. But this is honestly, I believe, a step in the right direction for Gacha. And even if maybe these two don't knock it out the park completely, it brings faith in trying to really break the mold. And Wuthering Waves, you have to give credit. Wuthering Waves started that with the weapon banner being guaranteed, right? At least from the big four. So that being said, I love you. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next one. Mwah.